what I'm going to talk about is cracking the social media code. I'm always talking about social media, Facebook, and Sensei Brooklyn brought up a point. Other people had said that Facebook was going to be a fad, but I'm also going to give you another really interesting story that happened to me about how Facebook actually hurt me really bad with the situation I'm talking about. Okay, you got to be very careful about who your staff that's using social media. You got to be very careful with it. I've lost probably about 32 students because of Facebook, because of the people that built relationships. So there's it's great. I mean, I love it because this is what I do now full time, and I'm able to help you guys so it doesn't happen to you. Okay, your instructors that are on Facebook, they're friending people. Your students, they're your students. Okay, but they seem to think that they're their students. That's what happens in their mind as an instructor. They start to think that. So, cracking the social media code. Before we go into it, me and Sensei Brooklyn, we're always on Facebook. You're probably friends with us. If not, please add us on Facebook. Twitter, you can follow me. There's my Twitter handle right there, at Sensei Nick. I'm on Google Plus a lot as well. We're going to talk a little bit about Google Plus and why you should at least be posting on Google Plus. There's not as much activity on Google Plus, but I'm going to explain to you today why you should be on Google Plus, or at least posting and making comments on a Google Plus. Okay, so I was listening to Sensei Brooklyn and Sir Sean. So I put that up there. It says True School. So I'm listening and I'm hearing some really great information, but at the same time, I want you to remember one thing: every area is totally different. Okay, and I'm fortunate enough where I go to British Columbia and I go to Champions, and I live in New Jersey, so I get to see New Jersey and I get to see British Columbia. It is basically a different world. Like coming from the East Coast to go there, and the way of life. Okay, everything about it is like a different world. So my advice to you is, whether it's myself, Sir Sean, Sensei Brooklyn, wherever you go to a seminar, make sure you remember one thing: every area is totally different. What works for him could work for me, might not work for him. Okay, things that work for you might not work for her. So just remember that. All right, just remember that. It's really important. Try different things. Okay, some things will work for others. They will not work for you. Just remember that. That's why I tell everybody whenever I'm doing webinars, I'm saying, listen, this is what I did, but you have to change it up to make it fit your demographic. Okay, cool. So that's why I put up there a different world, adjust and adapt. All right. So cracking the social media code, I broke it down into 4 main things. This is what I want you to think about, okay, right here. So search, content, creativity, and measuring. You want to write that down, okay? Search, content, creativity, and measuring. Because we're going to talk about the pains and what everybody says when it comes to online leads and marketing. I hear all the different challenges people have, but those are the 4 main components we're going to go over today. Search, how to get found in search. Content, what is content? People are really they're confused about exactly what content is. Content is not going on Facebook and just saying, come in for a free class and you'll get a free uniform, or anything like that. That's not content. That's a post. But we're going to go over content that will convert. That's what we're going to go over today. And then creativity, that's one thing that I think that's probably one of my biggest strengths. I'm definitely not the most organized, okay, but I definitely have a lot of creative juices. I'm always coming up with something new, and it just happens. I don't really think about it. I just come up with a lot of creative content, and I want to show you some examples just in the past 2 days of content that I've produced that has done really well for me. And I want to tell you how you could use stuff similar with your flavor that'll work for your school. And then measuring, obviously measuring. If you're not measuring anything that you're trying to do, you're just making guesses, and that's not good. It's not good to make guesses when it comes to marketing, okay? So the most common marketing pains, this is what I hear all the time. Search, okay, I need more leads, I'm not getting leads. And that's what I'm talking about with search. A lot of school owners, they're saying, I'm not getting any leads to my website. I'm not getting, no one's filling out any forms. There's nothing coming in. So we're gonna address that one. The second one, time. I know this is always a challenge for martial arts school owners. There's not enough time to do everything you're telling me to do, Nick. There's not enough time. I have to do this. I have to do the intro lessons. I'm cleaning the school. I'm doing all this. These are one of the biggest challenges, obviously, is time. Second thing, strategy, and this is definitely, this is what I really consider myself. I don't consider myself a guru or a consultant. Okay, I consider myself a strategist. Like, I love developing strategies. I've always been developing strategies, for business. So if you don't have a strategy, where people you think you have a strategy, but it's in your head, that's not a strategy. Like, that's not gonna cut it today, just having it in your head. And I work with a lot of different people. I was just explaining to Brandon and Krista yesterday, we're trying to come up with something for kickboxing. They're working on a kickboxing curriculum with us for kickboxing.com. And I explained to them, I said, listen, I said, when I go to Master Freed and explain this to them, we need to have a clear-cut strategy written out, all the challenges, everything that's going to happen before it could possibly happen. That's a strategy. So when you're coming up with your internet marketing strategy that you're trying to do, that's fine, or if we're helping you, but it needs to be written out. So these are the most common marketing pains that I see from most school owners and businesses I'm working with: search, time, and strategy. So 4 things we're going to go over. This is what I'm going to give you today. Where is social media going? Okay, it's just changing so fast and quick. It's just not the same. It's just like what we were talking about 2 years ago. It just is played out. It's just changing quickly. Second, what is content marketing? I'm really going to explain it because I've been talking about it, but I'm going to explain to you what exactly content marketing is. The 3 C's: conversation, curiosity, and conversions. That's all about creativity. That's what we're going to talk about. What do you need to do? How, again, implementing your flavor, because it's different than mine. So when I show you some of the stuff we're using, you could use it and add your own flavor to it. And then internet marketing is based on logic, not emotion. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense, then you have to move on. So we're going to go over that. All right, so where is social media going? Where is it going today? And I start that with, the most important thing is, what is Google actually indexing? So, a lot of us are on Facebook. We're spending so much time on there, but it's not really doing anything for us with the search engines because nothing's getting indexed. But you need to be on there because that's where everybody is. Everyone's on Facebook. All your students are on Facebook. So even though it's not indexed by Google, the conversations, all right, but you still need to be on there. So we obviously know we have to be on there. So it's not on this little thing I have here, but Google Plus, Google obviously is indexing the conversations, okay, on Google Plus. It is when you have conversations or you're doing posts already Google's indexing them. And when people are logging into their Gmail account and they're doing search, they're showing up, okay, in the search. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So maybe not a lot of people are on there. But what I said 6 months ago when we talked about Google Plus, I did a big seminar on Google Plus, is that when people are searching, if you have posts, those are going to show up in the search. Okay, that's why even if no one else is on there, I'm not saying to be on there like Facebook. You can get students on Facebook quickly. Okay, probably not Google Plus, but when you're talking about search, Google Plus, it will show up in the search. Okay, your posts, okay, blogs, whatever you're putting on there, it will show up in search. Pinterest. We have a Pinterest course coming out. All right, it's really interesting. All right, the pictures. Have you seen the change on Facebook? Everyone's posting pictures now. You see it on Facebook, right? It used to be whatever. Now everyone. I'm so tired of seeing the same quotes. Everybody has the box. They're going on Pinterest or they're going on Google Images. They're typing in motivation, and that's the post. That's what everybody's doing. Okay, so another thing, Pinterest is also indexed by Google. Okay, that's important. So Pinterest, all right, you will say, well, it's all recipes and it's all women. Okay, that's true. But guess what? They're the ones that sign their kids up for karate, right? It's true. You know what I'm saying? So Pinterest is somewhere you are going to go because the content that I'm going to be talking about, that's where it's going to go. Nice images about bully prevention. Sean had mentioned bully prevention. Tips on losing weight, cardio, kickboxing. That's where the women are. So Pinterest is somewhere you are going to end up, and it is indexed by Google, which is important. Okay, Dig. I'm not sure if you guys know what Dig is, okay, but when you're doing a blog post, you definitely want to submit it to Dig, okay, because that will Google indexes that as well. Google indexes blog posts that you submit to Dig. All right, and then blogs. We talked about the lounge. Brooklyn was talking about the lounge. I know Sean does a lot of blogging as well. Blogging is something you obviously want to do. Okay, you want to do blogging. And people get confused. It's not. You don't always have to write blogs. Okay, you could do a video blog about the benefits of martial arts, the benefits, the 5 tips of focus. Okay, things like that. So Pinterest, okay, use original pictures to drive traffic. That's something that I've been doing lately. All right, I have a whole, for all of our SMO clients, we've actually made templates that are professional looking where you can insert your own logo, and we have some ones that you could use, or you could actually add your own content in there. What I mean by that is if you have an image with your logo at the top, and then you're talking about the 5 rules of focus. Let's do the 3 rules of focus. Does anybody know the 3 rules of focus? All right, you should as an instructor. You should absolutely know the 3 rules of focus. Focus with your eyes, focus with your mind, focus with your body. Those are the 3 rules of focus for kids. Okay? That's what sells your martial arts programs. That is what sells. Like, focus, concentration, all those different life skills. That is how you get people to pay $199 a month for kids karate. All right? Trust me. Okay? So you would have something with your logo on there, and then parents will like that. They will share it. Okay? This is awesome. My son has ADD. Okay? They'll like the post. And what I show you in a couple seconds, a couple slides further, I'll show you what I'm doing, what I just did for ChampionsWay, something similar to that. I made 5 basic tips for martial arts instructors. Just 5, like starting classes on time all the time. One of the worst things you could do as a martial arts instructor, it doesn't matter if people are coming in late, the class starts on time. Like, just the late people, that's their fault. So if class starts at 5 o'clock and everyone's walking in, the class should have started. Running a class over, which I'm terrible at, especially at these conventions all the time, all right, that is another challenge, okay? And your class is on time, and then 5 minutes early. Parents, like, everybody's in a rush all the time. So that was one of my tips I had. I had all these tips, and then I tagged some people, and then it went crazy. And I'm going to show you in a second. Like, it got shares like crazy, and people liked it. And then what happened was I got even more friends in the martial arts, okay, because all these people weren't my friends, and then I was getting friend requested like crazy. Because why? Because I gave them something that was valuable to them. Okay, and that's the same thing will happen to you. If you give something valuable to someone, okay, then you get something back from them. You get a friend. Okay, and then eventually you can close them. They'll follow you more. But if you're just posting things about your 6-week special, nobody cares. No one cares about your 6-week special. They don't. Not on Facebook. Your ads, you see it sometimes, the pictures, like with the summer special, like no one's like, oh my God, this is amazing. But when you give something to somebody that they care about, that's how people share it. So Pinterest, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Competitions on Pinterest. A lot of us don't even know what Pinterest is. We're not really on it. But you could have competitions on there for pinning. It's really involved. I'm not going to go too much into this because I don't want to take too long. This is the post I was talking about right here. Okay? I make the content, the social content for ChampionsWay. So if we look at this, let me go over here to the side so we can take a look at this in a little more detail. So what I did was I said, okay, I want to start helping you guys by giving you tips on business, social media, and teaching, because that's what you care about. If I have posts all about me or Sensei Brooklyn's talking about ourselves, no one cares. Like, that's the number 1 rule in social media. Stop talking about yourself. I did this, I did that. No one cares. No one really cares. So here you go, instructor tips, and then I just change this up. I'll have business tips, social media tips. So here are my tips. Start and end classes on time all the time. Have motivational quotes on the tip of your tongue. If you're teaching kids and you can't spit out motivational quotes on the tip of your tongue, I'm sorry, you're not a great instructor. Like, I clap everybody in. This is the normal size of our kids' classes right here. 40 kids in all my kids' classes. I have everybody clap it in. They clap it in. They huddle up like we're a soccer team or a basketball team. And they get down on their knee, and I give them one word or one quote to get them pumped up, to give me the next 5 minutes to go strong. And I have those quotes always on the tip of my tongue. Okay? I use a lot of one-liners. What am I looking for, class? The look of a black belt sensei. All right? So I tell it to them first, and then they say it back to me, and the parents, the energy, it's building up in the room. All right, so that's one quote. Okay, what am I looking for, class? The look of a black belt. What's a black belt? A master of the basics sensei. All right, I'm always getting two-way engagement. It's not just me talking, lecturing. It's action. Okay, action, and giving them stuff that motivates them. So that's the number 2 quote. That's the number 2 tip. Number 3, demonstrate instead of telling your students what to do. I've seen this so many times, and I've lost my flexibility because I'm not teaching as much. Okay, guys, I want to see shuffle hook kick. You know what I mean? I want to see the hook kick. Like, they demonstrate with their hands. All right? That's terrible. Yeah, it's true, though, right? We're probably all guilty of it sometimes. I want to see your best, nice high side kick. Demonstrate it. All right? Number 4, be a reader. Readers are leaders, at least 1 book, ebook per month. All right? As a martial arts instructor, it is your job to keep your brain, always having great information in it. All right? If you're training, that's great. Okay, but when it comes to instructing, okay, you're a leader. Your job is to inspire and to motivate. Okay, you don't get that from not reading. Okay, you have to read other leaders. All right, some of the best leaders I've read, Phil Jackson. I've read a lot of his books. Bill Belichick, Jack Welch. All right, Winning. There's a book. Write it down. Jack Welch, Winning. Yes, by Jack Welch, Winning. Anyway, he has a really good rule and this is a good rule for your staff too in there. It's called the 70-20-10 rule, and this rule works to the T. It's about staffing. 70-20-10. All right, you have 10 employees. All right, right now, okay, 70% of them, that means 7 of them, are not sure where they're going. They're going to go to the 10% or the 20%. 10% need to be fired right now. So if you have 10 employees, one of them, and we all have it, do the math. If you have 5 employees, one of them right now needs to be fired. He's late all the time. He calls out. He's sick. You know, he just always has family drama in his life. Everyone has it. Am I right? It's true. All right. So that's a really good book. So when you're reading that type of material, okay, then the parents, okay, you're selling life skills. Then you're able to look at someone and say, yes, it's $199 a month, and that's our basic program, $199 a month. All right, and then number 5, and everyone really liked this one. I had people talking about this in the comments. Keep your personal drama at home. Never bring it in the dojo. All right, because I know what it's like. It's like so draining. Like you just want to work, and then one of your instructors, he's having problems with his girlfriend, problems with this, problem with that. All right, so if you look at this is the content. So now you have to start visualizing. Okay, here's my logo. All right, and then I'm going to put out here for you guys. I would have something along the lines of, student tips. And if you look at this, okay, 119 likes, 11 shares. I don't know how many comments we had, but 119 likes. That's from you guys. That's from just posting this on our ChampionsWay Facebook page. Okay, and I'm not sure, but anyone here has ever had anything with over 100 likes? Raise your hand. All right, did you? What was your post? Video? That's good. Awesome. Was it teaching, or was it what kind of video was it? It was like sort of like a testimonial video. Okay, cool. Sensei? Yes, sir. What was your post? It was my birthday in February. Okay. And instead of everybody always after their birthday, they always go off and say, thank you everybody for your birthday wishes. Mm-hmm. I wanted to kind of try something different, so I did a 1-minute video of myself, just saying thank you for your birthday wishes. The only thing that I've ever seen other than this one is John Malik's kid Jonan. That guy gets 500 likes just up smiling. Babies. Yeah, absolutely. Babies get a lot of pictures. So this is a sample. Thanks, Sensei. This is just a sample of something you could produce. Okay. So here's another. I wanted to highlight one of our awesome clients. He's been coming to the meetings for like years. He was going out of business when he met us, and I'm sure Nima and you guys know Coach Miller. Okay, so this was an example, okay, that Coach Miller did. So this was an email that got sent to me. He didn't know that he sent it to me. I subscribed to his thing. So Nick, please take a moment to receive our free bully report of bully tips for parents. We must stop bullying in its tracks. Please help us. Share this email, blah, blah, blah. And then it says click here. So if you click there, this is where it took me to, which is, if you notice, it's similar to what I had. It's similar to this is what we gave him as part of for our SMO clients. And then all he did was he had his logo. You could add this yourself. Okay, it's an HTML code, and he put a free report for bully tips for parents, no bully zone, and then register now. So like Sean, you were talking earlier, this is a piece of content that will get shared. This is a piece of content that people will like. This is what works. This is an example right here. So he used the email. It links them to this. Okay, the people register, right? And selling like a shark. See, I'm not like that. Everyone's got different styles. I am no pressure sales. That's my style. Like I actually tell people sometimes, listen, look at everything else. Look at everybody else first, then come back to me, talk to me if you're interested. That's my style. Now, with this, what I like about this, if you have someone at your school that's not really like a shark or that's coming up through the ranks, here's what you do with them. So they register for the bully prevention report. You have a guy you're training to be as a program director. All right, you know that they registered for it. You wait a week, and then you have them call them. Hi, this is Nick calling from Champions. I noticed that you took advantage of our free bully report. What'd you think about it? You know what? I thought it was awesome. It was so good. My son's getting picked on in school. Okay. Wow, that's so awesome. I mean, not that he's getting picked on in school, but it's so great that you liked it. How about coming in for a free lesson? That's it. So how about coming in for a free lesson? You see what I'm saying? It's a lot easier. Not everybody's got that amazing sales skill like Sean and Brooklyn. These guys are the exception. These guys are amazing. They're just awesome. So a lot of us don't have that in us. So if we don't, This is something that could help someone that's getting started out. And then basically from here, this is a lot easier, so that's what we can work. Now, you also take it to Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. The biggest mistake you're going to make is that you're just doing it on Facebook, right? And that's it. It just stops there. Remember I talked about indexing? So I could take that same link, okay, the same link to that, because that's a link. That's an HTML code right there. And then I put it on Twitter. Okay, some people might find it, maybe not. All right. And then on Google+, I put it on Google+, and that's why I love Google+, because that gets indexed. So if you're using keywords in that post that are for bully prevention, and then you put in there like Turnersville, New Jersey, when people go into Google and they're typing in something along the lines of bully prevention, martial arts, Turnersville, that's what they would type. Bully prevention, Turnersville, something like that. It's going to show up. That is going to show up. That post will show up on Google+, not on Facebook, but Google+ it will. So even though you think no one's on there, you have to. That's what I'm saying. You have to look outside the box. I don't think that is a waste. Like I hear that all the time. As soon as we're talking about Google+, people are like, "Oh, it's a ghost town. It doesn't work." That's a terrible attitude. It's Google. All right, Google owns it. It's not going to just die. It's not. They're going to constantly keep making it better. And people will, if it's working with search, that's all I care about. I don't care who's on there. But all I know is that people are looking for martial arts or anything like that, and it's showing up in the search. Then that, to me, that's a win. All right. So the difference between Google+ and Facebook, let's just go over that for a second. We know most of them, but I'm going to point out some things I think you might not be sure about. So when you go on Google, you're usually researching and looking for something, like whether it's a product or a service. You're going on there to research. Most of the time when you're going on Facebook, it's a distraction. You're just like bored. You go on there, you're looking around, liking people. Like you're not like going there to say, you know what, I'm looking for a specific pair of shoes. Okay, I'm looking to spend about this amount of money. You don't go to Facebook for that. You don't. All right. So understand the difference. And then the second thing is for Google+, SEO. That's what I want you to think about all the time. Indexing. Okay, that like when you're posting on there, you're getting no likes, no one's commenting on it, but it's picking it up for the search engines. Like we talked about the bully prevention kit. Facebook, yes, it'll get shared, okay, but it's not indexed by the search engines. You're not going to, no matter what you put on there, you could have 5,000 likes for that bully prevention kit. If you went into Google, they're not going to pick it up. Now maybe down the road they will, but as of right now they don't. Okay, and then Google+, people think it's a ghost town. Facebook is like a bar. Everyone's there hanging out, okay? Digital footprint, what I like about this with Google+ is that you're leaving a digital footprint. Indexing, that's what you want you to think about. Your competitors won't. They're not going to waste their time. I don't want you to think like that. Get on there, make your posts on there so you get that footprint. And then Facebook is interesting. You could have a post on Facebook with like 1,000 likes, everybody's talking about it. The next day, no one even remembers it. It's true. That's the way it is. Everything comes in so quick. All right, we talked about Google+ being indexed, Facebook not. Google+, is it the future? And is Facebook the past? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to go out and say, oh yeah, Facebook is going to be done. I don't think that's going to happen. All right, but I personally look at the best marketers in the world, or the best internet marketers in the world are swearing on it. Okay, that's why I look at. So I don't look at the guy who just talking about it, who hasn't really done anything. Chris Brogan, look at him. Okay, Guy Kawasaki, these guys are writing books about it, and that's where they're going. So I'd rather follow them than follow other people that really have no idea. They're pretty much the biggest internet marketers in the world. Guy Kawasaki, follow them. Guy Kawasaki and Chris Brogan, follow them. Okay, and then same thing, Google+, get on it and stay on Facebook. I'm not going to say leave Facebook at all. So those are some tips for you. And by the way, some more things about Google+. They're tailoring a person's search to include results based on their social media profile. So that means that when you're going on your Google+ page for your brand page, you have to be really strategic on how to do that. I talked about that a lot at the last seminar. So when you have a brand page for Google+, you want to make sure that that profile is filled out 100%, and you're talking about using some keywords, using links. Okay, that could be indexed by Google as well. Google's now including Google+ updates and people's +1s in their search. So this is what it's looking like right here. You'll see a little blue guy. All right, and then when people are searching for fundraising, like your post will actually come up. Powerful social proof for business, because people when they're going Google and they see you're showing up in there, that's powerful for you. All right, they've shown up in Google Plus searches. Now when you see search, you may see a post from someone you know or someone who knows someone you know. These will show up as people's faces with search results. That's pretty sick. So that's happening now too. Like people are like, your image is actually coming up. That's awesome for you, for branding and for your logo, for your business. That's huge. Okay, because remember we're talking about I need more leads. I need more leads. Well, I hope you're picking up on this because this is how you're getting more leads, because that's how people find you is on Google. That's it. Bing, whatever, but mostly Google. Any student of influence knows this form of social proof, seeing faces of people you recognize, will significantly increase the likelihood you'll click on a link. So if I'm like looking up for something for kickboxing and I see Krista had a post that talks about it and I know Krista, I'm definitely going to click on that link. And you got to think the same way. So if you're looking for martial arts, if someone's looking for martial arts in your area and they see that their friend is showing up because they mentioned something about Champions Martial Arts, we know that they're more likely to click on that and look at it. It's just obvious, okay? Don't miss on this opportunity to get more traffic. Google has said it would like to include other sites in search. All right, you'll see that, hopefully down the road, maybe like Twitter and Facebook will, but as of right now, it's not happening. So 5 ways to drive traffic to your site with Google+. This is what you want to know. So, because it doesn't matter if anyone's on there or not, okay, but I want you to understand this. Use their keywords, not just yours. Okay, a lot of people, Champions Martial Arts, using that. Okay, but what are the keywords they're going to type in? Okay, they're not going to type in Champions Martial Arts. Some people might, but they're going to type in bully prevention, confidence building in Turnersville, weight loss in Turnersville, fitness training in not always about champions. Use what they're going to type. You understand? Does everybody understand that? Yes, sir? Yes, sir? Anybody? Okay. Size matters. If you have a Google Plus page, you got to get your students to +1 it and add it, because that right now that's what Google's looking at. The more people that if I have for my page +1s, I have 150 and the other school has 10, even if you're not engaging with them either, it doesn't matter. Right now they're looking at numbers. That's what they're looking at. So you got to try to get your students on there, and everyone has a Gmail account, most of them. So sometimes it might take you educating them to go on there. Use pictures and videos, and then use the alt image tags, for keywords when you're posting a picture for your school, because that's going to show up in Google Images. People are searching images. Who searches images? And when you're searching, sometimes you select images as well. Engage and be engaging. When you saw that post that I did with the 119 likes, I didn't just let everybody like it and then just walk away. All right, people are liking it, but when they were commenting, you have to comment back too. Okay, on Google Plus as well, and on Facebook. Does anybody know what author authority is? Okay, no. All right, that's something that Google's offering now too for your content, that you can make sure that you get more points for this, that you're the author of that content you're producing. Well, if you have more questions about that, I can go in there for a half hour, but that helps your SEO as well. It gives you more credibility and more points. Is blogging important? Okay, only if you want to show up in search. Really. So when people are using who's using the lounge in here on your social site? Anybody? Wow, Sterling, you see that? Look at that. Barely anybody. Okay. So, it's just really powerful. Not so much the lounge, but blogging. You want to get more people to your site? You have to get on that. And then my simple advice for you is whenever you do a blog, submit it to Dig. Submit your blogs to Dig. So you're on social site, okay, or whatever blogging platform you're using. Make sure you're blogging. You're using keywords in the title. And I'll be here, like I said, all day today. So if you need help with blogging, I can help you with that as well, just to give you some tips on getting started on the keywords. Is your site SEO ready? This is another important thing when it comes to this. So this is, believe it or not, this is social media. All the stuff we're talking about, blogging, Google+. Is your site SEO ready? SEO is changing all the time. It's never just going to be done. They're always trying to improve it. Okay, so is it ready? And if you don't know the answers to these questions, then you're not ready. Okay. First, are you protected against the Penguin and Panda update? Does anybody know what that is? Okay, that's Google's latest updates: the Panda update and the Penguin update. Internal site optimization, is your site internally, is it optimized? These are all the things that matter when it comes to your SEO for your site. Social media postings, we talked about that. I talked about Google+. I talked about Pinterest. Okay, those are the ones that they're getting indexed by Google, but we're probably not posting on either of them, so we're losing that. Okay, so we want to make sure we're posting on them. Social bookmarking, like I talked about, Dig and using social bookmarking sites. How not to get penalized by Google, and there's a very fine line. Some people, they have like 15 different websites. Okay, and that's not really good. Sometimes you could have a couple, but if you have to make sure you're not getting penalized by Google. So if you're not looking at your analytics and you're not tracking all this stuff, you don't even know what's going on. All right. H1 tag. Does anybody know what an H1 tag is? All right. So some of us you have good H1 tags. Roles and responsibilities of secondary websites. I'll talk about that. That's like the 10-minute conversation. I'll say it. Where is Joyce? Roles and responsibilities of secondary websites. Does anybody have more than one website for their site or for their domain, for their brand? How many sites are you working?
Just two, but they link to each other.
Cool.
Same site.
Anybody else? Yeah, Dave, a couple? Yeah. All right, so those are some things for you. So this is it for the takeaway number one. SEO will keep changing. Multiple marketing platforms, you have to be on a lot of them. Okay, like you really want to be on a lot of them if you're really trying to show up in the search engines. Pictures are just becoming huge. You know, people want to look at things rather than reading. Okay, and then shares. All right, you want to get your content shared. So all the stuff I talked about content, it's only going to get shared if there's something in it for them. All right, understand that. All right, so what is content marketing? Now I want to explain to you in more detail. Here's my question for you guys. What type of content interests prospects? So raise your hand. So give me one, like what's one piece of content that would interest a prospect? Anybody? Tips, okay, yeah. The 5 tips of, weight loss, 5 tips of ADD. What else? If we don't know anything, then we're in trouble. We have to, if we don't know what's interesting our prospects, what type of content? Okay, now that's like 5 tips, but what else? Tutorials, videos. Okay, it's like a video tutorial. What else? Demonstrations. All right. GIFs. Awesome. All right. Who offers online courses? All right. Who offers kits? All right. Who offers white papers? All right. See that? You guys could be doing that right now. Like it's like that. That's that. Like I'll tell you what. Here's what we got to think about. Like if you're going to look at a product or a service, all right, if you're going to look at a product or a service that you're interested in, okay, this is what interests me, and I'm sure that interests you as well. What interests me is anything that teaches me why I need that product or service. Okay, that's what you're trying to do to your prospects. You do no-gi jiu-jitsu, all right? So if you're offering a course, what is no-gi jiu-jitsu? Some people don't even know what it is, right? So if you're making some basic, simple videos, and it's on your website, and you can explain what is no-gi jiu-jitsu, like believe it or not, like that people, you're educating them. You're explaining to them what it is. You're explaining to them like, listen, there's gi jiu-jitsu, but no gi is more of this, less of this, more of that. You're educating them. You understanding? You know what I mean? So your job is to make sure they understand why they need that product or service. White papers. Okay, a white paper could be a 1-page document on ADD, bully prevention, the 5 tips like you talked about. Like, you see, what all I'm doing is psychologically, I'm giving someone something first, okay? Before I say, I just come up to Joyce like this. So you want to do karate? So, you know what I mean? Like, see, again, I love the content and stuff like this. It takes away that high pressure, like aggressive, like trying to close right then and there. So this content marketing, this is what the biggest companies in the world are doing, all right? And you guys could all do it. And you don't need a production crew, a big camera. You need your iPhone. That's it. You want to make a course on the tips of ADD, how martial arts helps with ADD? Okay, it could be a series of maybe 20 videos. That's all you need. So you have to think about, what interests you, what would interest prospects. Webinars, you could even do something like that. You can get free software, have a webinar, and record about the benefits of training in the martial arts. The 5 reasons why, like Brendan was saying, how kickboxing will help you lose weight, whatever. And people watch that, they read that. Your competitors aren't going to do that. What are your competitors going to do? The same thing everyone else is doing. And when everybody's thinking the same thing, no one's thinking. I see it all the time. I'm on Facebook and I'm like, wow, is that all? Everybody just keeps putting up the same thing. The picture, the special, the 6 weeks, the introductory lesson, the same thing. But you get something, you do what I tell you to do, and you'll see that I'm not going to say it goes viral. People will say, oh, no, it won't go viral. Viral happens by accident nowadays. Okay, you can't make something go viral, but you can make it get shared. You can make people interested in the product. All right? So that's what you could do. So how will content marketing help? If you're still confused on content marketing, okay, it will educate, okay, it will reinforce, it will clarify. Those are the first three things you got to remember. Educate, reinforce, clarify. Why they need your product or service. Why they need your service. Okay, that's what this should be doing. All right, stretching, okay, weight loss, all these different things. A simple video of explaining it to the clients or the prospects of that. FAQ. All right, I work for a lot of plastic surgeons. I do their entire online marketing. All right, and this is one of the best things that they have. Some woman wants to get a procedure. What are the most frequently asked questions? And it's great when the doctor is sitting there at a desk. So some of the questions I've been asked is, what is the turnaround time when you get this procedure? How much does it hurt? What is the pain? What are the side effects? What is this? What is that? And they're having great results by having things like that. Because number one, you feel more comfortable, and you could be doing the same thing. You could be doing the same thing. The prospect is more comfortable. It's like, wow, I like Brandon and Krista. Like they have that energy that I'm looking for. Okay, I feel like they're pumped up. They have energy. This is what I want. Okay, and then you're addressing all the questions. Am I too overweight to do their program? You see them. They're ripped. They're in great shape, and they say, listen, this program is for beginners. We have students that were 385 pounds. They started 200, whatever, 400 pounds, whatever it was. And then that makes them become more comfortable. So what others say too, remember, this is the thing, like you could talk all day about yourself for karate school, or whatever you're teaching. No one really cares. They just want to see what other people are saying about your school. So like having the iPhone, and when someone's telling you how great your classes are, listen real quick, could I just get that on video? Could I just get that? You should have a video library of everyone that's ever said you had a great class, he was great, the birthday party was awesome, the fun night was good, whatever it is. Like just on your iPhone, okay? And that's part of the course. That's part of your course. Now I'm going to show you what the course is in a minute, so it all makes sense to you. But I want you to really understand the content marketing. If there's one thing I want you to walk away with today, is that content marketing will work better than anything else, all the other gimmicks I call them. All right, you have to give people value today. All right, unless you're in just an area where everybody's rich and no one cares, you're going to have to give them some type of value. So this is my arsenal for ChampionsWay. Okay, this is my arsenal. Now, if you notice here, okay, these are all my different courses and kits and goodies that I have, okay, that help me get leads, okay, for ChampionsWay. So, and all these things are benefits to you. There's nothing in here that's just a straight pitch. Sign up for this. No. Okay, the first one, virtual school. Get it featured on our virtual school. We have something big going on with virtual schools. Not ready yet. But if you think you have great content, you think you have great material, and other people would pay for it, okay, you fill it out. Okay, but I haven't even started promoting that yet. And then I call you up and I say, okay, so what do you offer? Well, I teach Muay Thai. I teach Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, cool. And then I explain to you how it works, and it doesn't matter. Even if you're not selling curriculum, the virtual school will be on ChampionsWay and .com, and it'll be on kickboxing.com. And then you backlink yourself, okay, to that, your website. Okay, that helps you in SEO too. And then people can go there and they'll see your videos of you teaching martial arts. So there's a lot of different things we're working on. That's number one. Google Plus Kit. People want a Google Plus Kit, I send it to you. So there's nothing in it for me. You register for it. You have no idea. You're like, I don't even know what Google Plus is. Like, I'll definitely try this kit out. And then all of a sudden, you try it out. You listen to some webinars. You watch it. And you're like, you know what? That's, Nick, good stuff. I liked it. And that's I'm happy. If you liked it, that's good. Free trial for Perfect Mind. That's just a free trial. Program Director Kit. Sensei Brooklyn is not here. He made a great Program Director Kit. We gave it out. That got 519 social conversions. Okay? So we sent it out through email, okay, through Facebook, all right, and just like Twitter, on our lounge, whatever. So between email, and social media, out of all the people that clicked it, we had 519 people register for it. All right? That's pretty sick. So if you're offering a bully prevention kit and you can get 20 people to register for it, 50% lead conversion, 10, that's not bad. Because there's something in it for you. Guys want to know, what is a program director kit? I need to have a program director. So that's something that would interest you. And that's one of them. What else do we have here? A course on how to use the lounge. People are like, what is the lounge? I don't even know how to use it. So that's in it for you. There's nothing in it for me. Okay, I'm just teaching you how to use the lounge. Free website evaluation, that's more of a pitch because some people really have no idea what they're doing with their website. So we'll give them a free consultation, and then if they want more information, they can talk to the sales team. Let's see, program director webinar, summer camp kit, Drysdale BJJ, okay, Master Ace teaching kit, white paper on Facebook EdgeRank. Facebook EdgeRank is the algorithm that Facebook uses. If you don't understand it, you might be wasting your time. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I'll come back to that. A reseller webinar. Okay, reseller webinar. What I'm working on next is I'm actually doing all the reseller partnerships with our clients. Okay, and people that resell Perfect Mind, SMO, any of our products or services. So the next couple months, you're going to start hearing me come out talking about that and meeting with me, and I'm going to show you how you can make, easily $1,000 a month, just basic income, just on the people you know already. Okay, because it works for you. We know it could work for any business, at least all of our Perfect Mind and our SMO. So we're going to talk about that. Shihan Mike Vaca, customer service webinar, Drysdale webinar. So this is the same thing, guys. If you're on social site, we give you the code. You can do the same thing. Okay, this is where the content goes. All right. So there's an example. There's a Google Plus. I made this. I am not a designer. Nothing. I can't even use Photoshop. Nothing. All right. I made this. So I know everyone in here can make the same thing, but instead of a Google Plus kit or free white paper, you would have bully prevention. Okay, tips of ADD. We can talk about the same thing over and over again. Same thing. And then you put a little image in there. Register now. You get the notification. It comes through. Oh, the time excuse. Okay, so you have no time to do all this. Okay, and I know it's a lot of time. And that's why some of the people that are investing in our program, like, you have to understand, this is not the gimmick. This isn't like, we're not going to guarantee that we're going to say that you're going to get 500 leads the first month. That's not how it works. All right, this is an ongoing coaching, okay, and content producing program and platform, automation. We're making things easier for you. That's what we're doing. Okay, I'm not doing your social media. That's not what we're doing. Okay, so we're continually adding on. If you haven't seen that, the people who remember us from the beginning, you definitely see it. We're always adding on, and we're going to continue to do that. So whether you work with us, or whoever, if you don't have time, you need to consider a dedicated content provider. If you don't have time to do it, because you're dying online, you're going to die online unless you're producing content. The content library is back from the dead. We started back in the day, me and John Malik, it was called the content library. It's now called the library, okay? But now, August 1st, we're releasing the social content library, part of the SMO. So that's like you'll be able to go in there, and this stuff's done for you. So here's my only advice. Do not, whenever it comes to videos, we will never make videos for you because that's not good. You don't want to have me, talking about ADD and focus and whatever, and then people coming in, and then they expect to see me or whoever does the videos. If I had Brooklyn do it or Sean or whoever, you need to make your own videos. But PDFs, white papers, basic content and stuff like that, that's already done for you. But you have to make your own videos, or your instructors. Doesn't matter. Someone from your school, they should be making the videos. I'm really big on that. I just don't think that, because that's like a disappointment. If I get pumped up, I see these guys for kickboxing, and then I walk in and I get some person that's out of shape or just nothing like what they talked about. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna be like, what's going on here? I thought So keep that in mind. Bully prevention, ADD, ADHD, benefits of kickboxing, code and content, and it goes on and on and on. And that's what we're going to keep adding to that. And we actually are allowing our clients to even share their white papers as well, which is cool. Only if you're part of our program. So if she makes a document and she's like, you know what, Nick, I don't care. Everyone could use this. Great. All right. And the thing you have to remember, don't post it to a blog or a website. Make them register for it. All right. Because then another problem we run into is if she uses it as a blog or somebody uses it as a blog, duplicate content's not good for Google. So these are things that people have to register for. Then they can have the papers, the white papers or stuff like that. So what is content marketing? And I said this was my number one takeaway for you today. This was my number one takeaway for you, and I have it right here. Content marketing is a necessity. It is absolute necessity, which is the fact of being required or indispensable, the necessity for law and order, unavoidability, the necessity of growing old. All right, this is the one thing that when you leave today, you're going to talk about. You know what? I see where he's going with the content marketing. This makes sense. Okay, it's logical. All right, It's logical. It makes sense. Okay? This isn't, and it's not a gimmick. And the thing is, the people that work hard get rewarded. That's it. And that's what Google's algorithm they're trying to go after is people that work hard and have the best content, the most dynamic content should be rewarded. All right? You think they want people black hatting? They don't. They don't want people that going into search engines and like doing all kinds of meta tags and keywords. All right? Versus a woman or a family or whoever that's actually producing great videos, good content, people are interested, shares, likes, all that social stuff. That's what they want to reward. Okay? So this is a necessity. Okay. So takeaway number 3, we'll talk about the 3 C's. Conversation, curiosity, and conversions. Just get a drink real quick. All right. So we talked about this before, whether you're working with us or you're doing anything on your own, you have to be in this for the long haul when it comes to your marketing. All right, and the most common mistakes. So the most common mistakes, let's talk about that. I already talked about being in the long haul. The most common mistake is delegating this to someone that's not qualified to do it. I see this all the time. All right, and I want to tell you about the other thing we talked about, my Facebook disaster coming up. So if you delegate all this internet marketing to your receptionist, okay, and you don't have a contract in place with her, a non-solicitation contract, which I'm making for everybody. We have our lawyers doing it now for the ChampionsWay library. A non-compete is one thing, but a non-solicitation contract is even more important. Because if you're going to give someone the power to measure and use your social medias, whatever platform we're talking about, all right, what happened to me was my receptionist, she was communicating with most of my cardio kickboxers through Facebook. Not through email, through Facebook. So think about it. When that happened to me, all right, all she had to do was go on Facebook, look up old conversations and messages. That's how she was doing it. So she was sending Facebook messages. Like, oh, we left there, we're here now. We left there, we're here now. That's all she had to do was all the hundreds of people she signed up. Think about that head start she got. Oh, that made me upset. You know what I mean? Because I never got that head start. See, I did it like you're supposed to. I said to my instructor, I want to open my own school. Okay, you need to become a franchise. No problem. Okay, find a location. Found a location. I walked into my building the one day and I said, whoa, what am I doing? I was like, oh my God, I got this big school. And, I basically saved up through birthday parties and private lessons going in 6 in the morning. And I had no students. All right. Well, so unfortunately, some people, they're not going to have that same type of attitude. They don't care. So that's what these people did. So they've been taking cardio students, they've basically been taking a lot of my Facebook students. Okay. So you need to have a student solicitation agreement, which we're making. So that way, if they are communicating through Facebook, then you're protected, and then they know that. Whenever someone signs something, they're a little bit less likely to try to stab you in the back. All right. So that's what happened to my Facebook disaster. So keep in mind for that one. Did I do that? Oh. That's okay. So the one-way conversation, that's okay. You try to do what you got to do. The one-way conversation means this: when you're on Facebook or you're on Google, like make sure you're also commenting back. Okay, don't just like post something and say nothing. Comments, we'll have the conversation back. No content played out. That's another mistake with the conversations. That's why we're talking about those images, okay, and having things that are custom. Just putting your name on there, like as a sensei, as an instructor. And I'll give you an example. One thing I used to use all the time, I had my mirrors in my school. Like, you have your mirrors. And one thing my parents loved about it the most was I would come in, and I was always serious. I was the stern, strict sensei. I told kids, I am not your friend. I'm here to teach you to become a black belt. That's what my job is. All right? They knew where they stood with me versus other instructors that were like their friends, and then they weren't their friends. Okay? So I would come in. Here's the mirror. Everybody's sitting down, 40 kids on the line. I would come in. I'm ready to rock. I would just get a dry erase marker and put on there effort. That's it. And that's how I would start my class. I would say, okay, the only thing I want to see today is effort. 100% effort, 100% of the time. One key word, that's all you need. So you could take that same type of content, and so you have to be creative with what motivates your students. Okay, one word, like 100% effort, something simple. All right? It doesn't have to be so crazy. Don't think it has to be anything amazing, but they want to see that it comes from you. So that was what we're talking about first, which was, conversations and being careful with my Facebook disaster that happened to me. Get that non-solicitation agreement in place, all right? Because if you're gonna let people do that, you gotta watch out for that, and it's okay. Like, it happened to me. I'm upset about it, but the best part is, like Master Freed explained to me, now I'm able to share with all you guys, so it doesn't hurt you. That's awesome. Like, if I was just in my school by myself, that would stink. But Master Freed was like, Sensei Nick, he's like, listen, he's like, the best part is that all the clients love you, like, you're so nice to them, and if you help them so it doesn't happen to them, think about all those people that you're helping. And I'm not only just I'm helping way more people than I possibly could if I was just in my school. That's the cool thing about doing what I'm doing, is like I'm helping more people. So don't let that happen to you. Don't let it be a one-way conversation. You're in it for the long haul. You're not going to see results right away, like from Facebook or whatever you're doing. Like, you got to stay in it for, you got to understand it takes time. Like, I didn't just build up my social reach or my clout in a month. It's been 3 years now. 3 years of going at it. So Facebook EdgeRank, okay, because when we're talking about conversation and conversions, if you don't understand Facebook EdgeRank, I'm going to break it down really simple. Instead of going through all kinds of code and whatever, I want you to understand really simple. The first misconception is, all right, everybody has a fan page. Raise your hand if you have a fan page, business page, whatever. How many people have over 500 fans or likes? All right, how many people have over 1,000 likes? Anybody over 2,000 likes? Okay, whatever. That's all right. So at least we have pages. But the biggest misconception is you have 1,000 likes, 500 likes, and you post something about your 6-week special or whatever it is, and you think that, guess what? All those people are seeing it. That's not the case. They don't see it. The only people that see it, and here's another statistic, 90% of people that like a brand page never come back. Maybe not for us, because we're a martial arts school and we're keeping it active, but on the average, 90% of people that like a brand page never come back. So the misconception is that when you put a message up on Facebook about your special or whatever, then you think that all your likes see it. No, that's not the case. No, it's all based on the algorithm of comments, likes, interactions, similar interests. That's what it's based on. So just because you're posting on there, you think that everyone's seeing your message, but they're not. They're not. So that's really a good thing to know. That's why we're posting content. People say, oh, those posts stink. Well, those posts you're doing are terrible. Okay, it's better than nothing. If you get 6 likes on a post, okay, when you're doing nothing at all, at least you're interacting. So that way when you actually say, you know what, all right, it's been a couple weeks, I think I should post something on Facebook, at least someone sees it. You understand? Well, guys, again, I don't do it for you. We're not doing it for you. All right, and you don't want someone to do your social media for you like 100%. Different things to invest and then pay, that's one story. But you have to be social. Okay, you got to do a lot of this stuff, promote, pump it up yourself. People are going to like that. So I talked about the likes and comments, similar interests, okay? People that have, they like fitness, you like fitness, and you're going back and forth, and you have to like their comments too. Like, you can't expect everybody to just like your stuff. Like, you actually have to, like, if you want to go through your likes, look at their pages and like some of the stuff they're talking about. That's a little bit time consuming, but if you want to get the message out there more, you have to understand it. You can check out my Facebook page, and that's another war I've been having. Okay, I had 2,020 likes like last week, and now what they're doing is they're actually going and telling like the people that have left to unlike my page. Yeah. So. Whatever, what I mean? Oh yeah, that's how it is, right? And me and Joyce were talking. She went through a similar situation. She said it took her years to actually recover, And I see what she's saying. It's really something that I really don't wish on anybody. When that happens, when a student or an instructor opens a mile down the street from you, or your family, even worse. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But but the thing is, like, who does that? Like, who says like, oh, unlike their page, or unlike, like, I don't go to this restaurant anymore, and then I tell all my friends like, unlike their page. So the thing is, I know that'll come back around to them anyway, because what kind of ethical, moral person does that? All right. So, but check out my page. You can see like the likes, and you can see what we're doing. All right. And then the growth, the content. That's really what's going to get your growth. That's what's going to help you, because when you post really good things on there, and we get these new templates up there with motivation. All right, and it gets shared. Other people see it, and they'll like your page. You'll see it go up. Okay. Yes. Sure. Correct. That's like the thing is, if you're like say you liked it yesterday, you probably would see it. Say a week goes by, all right, you have never been back, you haven't been back to the page, all right, like, you know, then I post, then you probably won't see it. But let's just say these guys over here, all right, they were on my page yesterday, I posted something, they commented on it, I commented back to them, all right, that's the kind of people that are going to see it. But when someone likes your page, like, you know, say like, you know, from 2 years ago, you got your first like, and that person has not been back, Facebook's saying, like, basically, like, listen, they don't care about you anymore anyway, so why are we going to show them? And the thing is, if they did that, imagine if I liked 600 fan pages, right? And then every time they posted, imagine that clutter. So think about it from Facebook's perspective. They're only going to show the people that you interact with, versus just like everyone every business page you've ever liked. Yeah. So that's why the content and the postings are that important, and having stuff that actually is going to get liked and shared. That's why it's so important. Like, it's been crazy. Sharing is awesome. Yeah, that helps. You know what I mean? Okay, so now I call this the missing link. All right, this is like the missing link. I talked about content marketing being the one takeaway that I want you to have. This is the other part. Okay, this is the main component that I think is really going to help you guys put it all together. And it's our learning center. And just to give you an idea of some of the people that are, you know, using Learning Center that we're working with very closely, I just wanted to give you a couple. I know Ian knows Robert Drysdale. I do all Robert Drysdale's marketing. I do all his entire association development for his jiu-jitsu programs. And Robert has switched over from WordPress, okay, and now he's using the Perfect Mind platform. So this Learning Center that I'm talking about, all right, this is what he uses in order to actually facilitate his, right now I think it's like 35 affiliates all over the world, okay? So in there, basically he's able to give them content, videos, PDFs, all these documents, courses, basically that's what they are, for his clients, all right? Another one, some of you guys might know Master Ace, okay? We're moving his Crew Muay Thai. He's moving over to that as well. And then some of you guys might be familiar with Gracie Fighter of Orange County. They're like a pretty big UFC breeding ground. Diaz brothers, but some people don't like them. Okay, trying to think who else. Jake Allenberger, Jake Shields, a whole bunch of guys. They're producing a children's MMA curriculum. That's a belted curriculum. That's a boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, all in one with traditional principles. I know it sounds crazy when you hear, like, you know. But anyway, those are some of the people that are using our platform. And the cool thing is, I've already done this. We have 400 schools already using our Learning Center. Like clients that are paying us $100 a month, or at least that, to be part of our platform. So I've already done it. Now it's like, that's why it's, you know, just like you guys. When you've been teaching martial arts, you have to duplicate and replicate. So now that's what I'm trying to do for everyone here. So these people are using it to sell. You guys should be using it for your students. The biggest thing that no one ever cares about anymore is everybody's like leads. Like, that's what they talk about. But no one ever says, you know what, Nick? I just want something good for my students. Like, you know, that would be good for them. All right. This is both. Okay. Because if you want people to go to your website, no one ever thinks about this. The best people, you know, are your students. Because if they keep going to your website, it's only a matter of time that someone's with them. We're like, oh, you're going there again? So the Learning Center allows you to have your curriculum, okay, and other material on there for your students. You want to have something for them too, besides your prospects with the kits. So Joyce, you could have, like, you know, just some intro lesson. Like I was talking about the other day too. I was like, I did a webinar. It was the art of the lost art of the intro lesson. Like, it just gets worse and worse when I see it and I hear it. Like, I'll be talking to an instructor or somebody. It's like, yeah, we just got a new student. We threw him right in class. Really? Like, you know, what about the ROR? Everybody talks about ROI. Okay? Return on relationships. You wonder why your conversion rates stink? All right? Because the kid comes in, you sign him up, like, yeah, you're good, just go out there. And then he's out there, you know, it's like, would a kid teaching the class? You know what I mean? No. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do the intro lesson. And then take it one step further. Use the Learning Center to reinforce everything I talked about before. Reinforce, educate, and have them understand the benefits of your program. All right? So after the intro lesson's over, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Kersey, thank you so much. Real quick, when you're done, Jimmy, he did really great today. He was awesome. You could just go to ChampionsNJ.com, go to our Learning Center, and go to Children's Intro Course. It's public. I don't care if everybody sees what I do. I'm used to that. You can't be afraid of that. So anyway, they go on there, and then what is it? Instead of giving them the sheet, come on, guys, we're still using sheets on the intro lesson. The parent is so busy working, they go home, they're trying to read a sheet on the intro lesson, as opposed to going to the website, which is where you want them. Okay, and then imagine Mrs. Kersey over here, she goes to that sheet, she goes to the course or on the intro lesson, and she's just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, he went over the attention stance, he went over this, the basics, all that. All right, and then what does she do? She'll probably tell her friends. You know, and then she'll tell them, go there, check it out. And then there's a marketing tool. I just gave you an idea right there. There's a marketing tool for you. If any of your friends want to try a free intro lesson, go to our learning center. Go to a free intro course. That's it. I mean, this is like, man, that's awesome. I hope you guys are taking notes on that, man, because if I was in my school every day, I wish I had the time. Like, if I had these tools when I was coming up, oh, I mean, it would be amazing. So, and then you could break it up by category. Little champions, 3, 4, 5, and 6-year-olds or whatever, 3 and 4-year-olds, 5 and 6-year-olds. Doesn't matter if you're doing adults either, right? You know, I mean, you guys are doing Jeet Kune Do, right? It's mostly you have a lot of adults in that program, right? All right. Well, I was talking to a guy. This guy's like some SEO expert. He's showing me all this stuff. Sean, this is really good for you too. He's been to all these different seminars and gimmick seminars, I call them. All right. He's getting all these leads. You know what the problem is? None of them are qualified. All right, because he's fixing the search engines. He's doing all this social bookmarking, spinning his articles, all this crazy stuff, right? And then he's complaining. He goes, but Sensei Nick, all I get are all these qualified leads, or unqualified leads. These people are from India, they're from Asia, they're from whatever, all over the world, but none of them are interested. And everyone in this town too, Sean, real interesting. They're all doing that 30-day trial program. All of his competitors are all doing the same thing, all right? And like I said, hey, maybe it works for some of you guys. But I'm telling you, I know this works because at the end of the day, Sensei Brooklyn asked a good question. What is the best way to get students? You know, and referrals. No, teaching great classes. That's it. Like, you know, like you can put me right now. I'll go back on a mat. I'll go back to 700 students in a month because I know I teach the best classes in my area. You know what I mean? Like these people. Like, so teaching those great classes, that's what's going to get it for you. Not the gimmicks and the trials and the whatever, all this stuff. So using that and showing the world, like by using the Learning Center, that's going to get you the qualified students because showing people that you care, okay? And I have an opposite approach too. I don't want to bombard people with email after email and like all that stuff. Does anybody here like that? Does anybody like just getting bombarded after you register for somewhere? Like I don't. You know, like I'll go on like a website, and next thing you know, I'm getting so many emails about trying to sign up or trying to sell me this and like whatever, and like no, I'm not into that. And I think that consumers, you have to look at consumer behavior, right? You have to look at the way consumers are being bombarded all the time. And I think you got to spin it, change it up a little bit, all right? So hopefully you can take that. So I think that'll be a good idea for you. I went a little bit off on that one. All right, so here's the course. This is the ChampionsWay course. You need to visualize 3 and 6-year-old program, focus kit, blah, 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 whatever. It's so simple. You do not have to know anything about HTML. You could add this right away. Landing pages, okay, now I just give you some basic examples of landing pages. And the landing pages, all there will be is a form here. Sean brought up a good point too. When you're making a form, first name, last name, email, phone number. First name, last name, email, phone number. Every time you add another field, you decrease the chances of someone filling out the form. I've seen the craziest fields ever. When I see them, I'm like, this is, like, what is going through this person's mind? You know what I mean? Like, age of time, like age, I couldn't even understand it. Like age of enrollment, like I don't even know what that means. You know, so when you're making it, like keep it simple when it comes to your landing pages. Trust me, first name, last name, email, phone number, make them required. And if anybody doesn't want to give that information, you don't want them. If someone doesn't want to give you maybe their email, I would leave like whatever. But if they don't want to give you their phone number, then you don't want them. So that's one for BJJ, another one for BJJ. And we make these for you quarterly. You call and you get them customized with your logo and whatever special you want on them. We upgraded that before we just send them out to you. Now you just call. So make sure if you're an SMO client and you haven't been doing that, I've talked about it in several webinars. Call up and get your logo on them. You use your pictures or our pictures. So if you don't like our pictures and you have pictures that are okay to use, you use them yourself. Zumba, children's birthday parties. This is another cool template we have with videos. So if you're all for MMA or if you're all for BJJ or you're all for Muay Thai, whatever, then what I would be putting right there, I would be putting right there a video of myself if I was the head instructor of the Muay Thai program, and I would keep it really simple. I'd say, hi, I'm Crew Nick, or I'm Sensei Nick, or whoever. I'd just like to welcome you and see if you'd be interested in coming in for a free class. I offer classes on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday night. Our classes are very structured. They're about an hour long, and I just want you to come in for a free class. I would be me. If you were to write a script out and start doing that and make it like a sales pitch or whatever, to me, people see through that right away. You know what I mean? If you don't call in 45 seconds, you're done. You'll never get this offer again. You know what I mean? So here's another one, 6 weeks for MMA. I mean, and the thing is too, like Sean brought up a great point. Google Analytics. When we hook up these landing pages for you, you're actually able to see the conversion rate of the landing pages. So I'll get to that in a second. But if you're not getting leads, it could be your offer, it could be the fields, it could be the landing page. Maybe that doesn't look good. So there's a lot of different factors. So if you're not getting leads from that, maybe your offer, you need to change it up. So you have to look at it from a logical standpoint. There's Professor Almeida. We work closely with him as well. So there you have just some information right there. First name, last name, email, phone number. And I love his logo. It's just awesome. And that's one of his affiliates over there, Steve Mongerno. And they just, he always has really good images. John Hackelman, we do all his website stuff. That's what he had, and his special was like right here. All right. And then there's another one for no-gi. All right. And you're a no-gi guy, right? What else here? Okay. So the point of the 3 C's: conversation, curiosity, and conversions. You have to get the conversation going, which is it's the hardest part in the beginning. All right. It's not easy. Like, people just won't start listening to you. It takes time. Curiosity, like, that's why we have that content, because that creates curiosity. Like, oh, I want to see what's in that kit. Okay? If you don't have anything like that, there is no curiosity. You have to have something that says that they're like, oh, I want that. You have to have that. If not, you're missing a major part of it. And then conversions are the landing pages, the capture forms that's tracking everything, like Sean explained earlier. Okay, so takeaway number 4, business marketing is based on logic, not emotion. Do you know your number? So right now, this is a question for anybody in here. Does anybody in here know how many leads they've generated just from their social site? If you're on social site, how many leads just from your social site? Raise your hand. No one? Leads from your social site. Okay, no one? All right. Okay. Does anybody know how many leads they've generated from their mobile site? Okay. No one? Dave? No, Dave? Yeah. So you know that, right? Like social site, mobile site? Okay. How about from Facebook? Does anybody know how many leads they've gotten from Facebook? No one? Okay. Some of you guys do. I just had to share the reports. Google Analytics, I know some of us are using. Who's using Google Analytics? I saw there were some people, right? Okay, good. All right, awesome. Landing page conversions, like when you're using Google Analytics, are you looking at your landing page conversions? No? Scott? No? Okay, Dave, yeah? All right. So anyway, the interesting thing on that was I learned a lot right there. I learned a lot. Like, we're open. We want to do some stuff right here. But guys, like, my question is, like, if we don't know this, then we don't know really what what we should put our efforts into. You know what I mean? When it comes, like, if we don't know where our leads are coming from, our social site or our mobile site, because that's the thing too. Remember, everybody's gonna always get like hyped up, like mobile. Oh my God, everything's mobile. Everything's this. Everything's that. Well, the thing is, I'm gonna show you my reports when we're done this, or I'll show you in a second. I could show you how many leads I've gotten from a website since September. All right, now I'm switching. This September, I do another redesign. Once a year, I do a redesign of my website. So this September, August, I'll start it. That's when I'll have my new website. Right now, I'm gonna guess, okay? I believe I have 209 leads from my social site. Just from my social site, 209 leads from September. My mobile site, I want to say 29, okay, from my mobile site. So the mobile site, which, hopefully you guys, if you have a website, when you type on your cell phone, it shouldn't look like the same website. People think that's a mobile website. You want to have like north-south navigation. So if you want to see a sample, you can look at mine, championsnj.com. Pull out your iPhone, go on it right now. Check it out. Everybody, go. I want to see if you have that, and I'm going to pull up my reports real quick so I can show this to you. ChampionsNJ.com, like New Jersey. The best place in the world, baby. Champions NJ. And here's my website. Nothing impressive. People are never ever. It's funny. Like Neem actually gets on me sometimes. Neem, where's Neem's? Is he here? He's outside. Neem is always like, Sensei Nick, we have to get you a new website. I said, why? It's working. I'm getting leads. You know what I mean? It doesn't look anything great. It's just simple. But that's what I'm about now. Simple. Because I think about people with computers, and I want to make it as simple as I can for them. So just having great, amazing flash and all kinds of cool stuff, that stinks nowadays. It doesn't even work on an iPad. So look at this. So here we go. So you're on my mobile website. That's cool. I'm going to log in right here. Let's just show you my stats real quick. Real MA. Okay, and this is the reports we built for you. So I go to reports, and let's check out my social site first. So I go to SMO, and then I go to reports. I'm sorry, social site. Give me 1 second. All right, so again, this is in September. I think I said 209. Let's see what I have. 217. Okay. So, and this is what I was talking about. Business is based on logic, not emotion. So if you look at this report here, this tells you like all my different campaigns, all right, and how many leads I've gotten from them. So 40 from that top opt-in box, the top of my top right-hand corner, I've gotten 40 leads from that. One of my other biggest ones was kickboxing, 45 leads from that. Okay, and then the 60, okay, which was my back-to-school kids special, all right. I just never changed it. It looks like back-to-school, but it's just my kids special. That's my number one, okay, my kids special. All right, so, and then I have 10 for little champions, which is like my 5 and 6-year-olds. 30 for my punch cards. We do punch cards because we offer Zumba, kickboxing, and boot camp, all kinds of crazy classes. So we got a lot for that. 14 for tiny champions. 1, I can't even tell which one that is. 7 birthday parties. So that's from my desktop site. Okay, then I asked you like how many leads you got from your mobile site, because I have different capture forms. All right, and if you notice this, I have different campaigns. All my campaigns, like I don't want to just know I got 40 leads from a website. Okay, that's like doesn't really give me anything. I got 40 leads, but look what I could see: kickboxing, tiny tigers, little champions. That's why it's broken up in this system like this. So when I go over here, let's go back to the report, and let's look at our mobile site. So here's my mobile site. 26. I thought it was like 29. So my mobile website, which you saw at championsnj.com, didn't get me as many leads. So 10 for cardio kickboxing, again, most popular, one of the most popular. 4 little champions, 8 tiny champions, which is interesting. So like 3 and 4-year-olds. That was really, I thought that was interesting. But 1 for mobile. This was a youth program, and then 3 for summer camp. I put a special capture form on there for summer camp. All right. That's this month. I just did that one. Yes, sir. This is September. Yes. No, September. So this has almost been a year from a mobile site. Good question. So like, yes, the desktop one's in September. So 217 leads. Do the math. You know what I mean? Not bad. And then I have Facebook here as well. That's one I'll show you. And I have Google Plus too. But I have it in a different. I put it into a different campaign. So when I asked people how many leads I got from Facebook, what we do is we just put a basic capture form on everybody's Facebook page. I've gotten 43 people from Facebook, but the thing is they weren't all leads. Okay, some of them were students. You'll get some of that sometimes. So what we're looking at in the next year is like making all your platforms on there, right? And the thing is you won't get anything from Google Plus for a while. Okay. But Facebook, Google Plus, local direct, everything. Now you need to have a huge dashboard of all your stuff, and that's what we'll keep improving. All right. Okay, so I'm sorry. So I wanted to show you that. So when it comes to measuring your social media, this is what I recommend for you if you want to measure your social media. To me, it's really your reach. Like how many likes you have on your fan page, how many YouTube subscribers you have, okay, how many people you have, how many Twitter followers. Twitter's not that effective. I mean, I don't even do anything on Twitter, and it doesn't really do anything for my school either. I mean, I don't have any success with it. I don't know if anybody in here uses that much, but I have like, I don't know, a couple thousand Twitter followers, and like I get nothing from it at all. So Sensei Brooklyn showed everybody Clout earlier. Sensei Brooklyn's on Clout. Me and Sensei Brooklyn are on there all the time checking out our Clout score. Your Clout score just basically shows you like your engagement, and like it helps you measure whether or not you're doing well on social media, okay? And one thing that you're going to have in the next year, well, you'll start noticing, we're going to start training your staff how to become a brand influencer for you, okay, which is good. So, and that's what it is. There's two options on Clout. You could be an individual influencer, okay, and you could be a brand influencer. What I mean by that is I'm a brand influencer of Perfect Mind and ChampionsWay, okay? Sensei Brooklyn, same thing. Sensei Sean, okay? We influence others on how to use, on why they should use Perfect Mind, all right? Maybe we're not, Sean, and then let's see what else. Okay, so conclusion, what is your time worth? We talked about a lot of different things here. You have a lot of things going on. That's what I try explaining to people. Like our program, it's a coaching and platform program. We're giving you all the tools. You could do it yourself 100%. You can. Or you can work with us. That's what you got to understand. SMO, and Vahid want me to go over this with everybody. If anybody does SMO this weekend, if you need more questions about that, Sensei Brooklyn and Vahid are the people to talk to in regards to that. But anyway, first month is free. That includes your social site, your mobile site, capture forms, social media postings, reports, Facebook page. You will get the content library that's released in August. Learning Center, okay? There's a better version of Learning Center that our SMO clients get. Groupon, we have our first deal going out, I believe the first week of June, for anyone that offers just cardio, kickboxing, or Muay Thai. And we can't promise anyone that you can be on there, but in certain areas we can get you on. I particularly am not a big fan of it. Like I really am not. But a lot of people that are just starting out that have like not a lot of students, it's a good way to get people in the door quickly. All right, but I really believe it attracts people that really will not convert. That's what I've noticed from Groupon. So there's an advantage and disadvantage if you're just really in the need of getting some students quick. It does help, but a lot of times you get people that really can't afford to continue. Kickboxing.com, Lead Direct is one thing we're working on. It's kickboxing.com, martialarts.com, getablackbelt.com, and when I talked about the virtual school, you get backlinks to these websites along with for your site. So it does help your SEO. And then once we have this virtual school where you can add your own videos, that'll help you as well. That's included. Constant innovation is one thing I could promise you. And then also local search. We set you up all the local directories. We're always changing that too because it changes almost every 6 months. All right, so we're always working on that.